Hello everybody, what's going on, and welcome to the redirect video for Let's Watch Full Metal Alchemist episodes 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. That is 5 episodes. In case you're curious, the next one will be 4 episodes. That will be 51, 52, 53, and 54. But this one was 5 episodes. 56, damn it. Anyways, go in the description, click on the Dailymotion, Google Drive, or BitChute links, assuming they all work. And, yeah, go watch those episodes, man. They're, quite the episodes. Yeah, go freaking watch them, dude. Go watch them. Apologies this took so long to get up. It was a pretty gosh darn crazy few weeks for me, but we're here now, and I should ideally be recording some more literally tomorrow. At the time of me recording this, it is 6 p.m. December 7th, 2020. Ideally, I should be recording some more in the morning, assuming nothing goes horribly wrong. So, that's pretty cool. Keep an eye out for that. Maybe, maybe not. Speaking of recording, before we get too far into this, I do want to quickly mention, in case you didn't see my other video that I put up, it's the Shad archive for Attack on Titan. In there, I do briefly mention that I am going to be starting Season 4, or the final season, as they are calling it, soon enough, but I'm not jumping into it quite yet. I am going to give myself a bit of time for the episodes to pile up. I might watch the first episode just so that I can get the opening scene, because I really want to see the new opening, because I've heard some stuff about it, so, you know, I really want to see it. So I may watch episode 1 soon, and then kind of give it a few weeks of the episodes piling up so that I can then watch them all at once. With that said, blah blah blah, who cares, let's talk about Full Metal Alchemist. Okay, hold on. Before I go into it, I actually was just about to jump into the discussion of the episodes. But I do quickly have one thing to talk about. As you might notice on the thumbnail, episodes 47 and 48 are a little darker, and for anyone who's been watching my series up to this point, you will have noticed that I'm doing this thing for when Pride shows up. It all started out as a little goof, just a small joke, and it has since grown into this thing that I don't even fully understand why I'm doing it anymore. But whenever Pride is on screen and he's being real spooky, or he's just doing anything that involves his powers, I kind of dim the background a bit. I don't affect the actual episode's brightness, because then that gets in the way of the actual episode, but the little background with the red box and the current episode and all that, I do slightly dim that. I started that back when Pride first showed up. I thought it was kind of fun, but now that he's been showing up a lot more, I'm feeling a bit more conflicted on it. I'm not sure if it's distracting at this point. I personally don't really mind it, but if you guys do, please let me know in the comments, and I will maybe tone it down a bit. I don't think I should just fully stop it at this point. I don't even know how much of Pride is left in the show, but, yeah, I still like it, but I probably won't go as hard with it, because in episodes, especially 47 and 48, I messed around with that a lot, and I think I went a little too far at times, but I digress. Let's actually talk about the episodes now. Starting with episode 46, we see a pretty telling thumbnail chosen here. It is, of course, of Tall Edward, my favorite. Let's go, boys. I didn't really think about it, but in this shot, Winry is actually leaning a bit forward. So, honestly, if she stood up tall, they would probably be about the same height. she'd still probably be a little shorter, but I did kind of overestimate just how tall Edward is in this shot. Because I was like, man, he's really tall. But she is kind of like hunched down a bit staring at him. So I guess he's not quite as tall as I thought. But still, Edward getting tall to the point that I'm not even sure if it makes sense. like why is he so tall in this scene? I guess it makes sense, but it's just strange when the only, like, character to compare him to is Winry, who is also fairly short, so it just makes him look way taller than he is. While I'm pretty sure in this shot, he's still, like, 5'6" or something, so he isn't, like, massive, or, like, 5'11" maybe, so he isn't, like, a huge dude. It's just that Winry is also pretty short, all things considered. Anyways, I digress. Let's quickly talk about this episode. Episode 46, Looming Shadows. We will be reading the Wikipedia entry for these episodes, so that I can remember what the fuck happened. Frig's Fortress soldiers escort Winry back home. Oh, right! Okay. Anyways, Briggs Fortress soldiers escort Winry back home, where she is surprised to find Edward and his group. Edward warns her to escape to another country, but she refuses and says that Edward is stupid, pretty much, and that he should protect everyone. Meanwhile, Scar has recruited several Ishvalans to help in his cause. Spoilers, it doesn't go well. Alphonse, who had been suffering from more frequent blackouts, is ambushed and captured by Gluttony and Pride. It's a bad time. At the Armstrong household, Mustang secretly reveals Selim's true identity to Olivier on the day before the promised day. What a way to phrase it. Bradley is tricked into taking a train to Central. It blows up. Very sad. Meanwhile, Hawkeye, Breda, who's Breda? I guess it's one of the guys. And Fury prepare for the upcoming day. Within the military, as the chosen generals are panicking over the Fuhrer's possible death, Olivier sees her chance to try to take control. However, before she can do anything, she's halted by the sudden appearance of Father and Sloth. I almost said father and son, and I was gonna be very confused. That was the episode. Holy crap, a lot kind of happened there. I kind of forgot this was the episode where Bradley blew up. Yeah, that's kind of wild. Obviously, I think we all know Bradley's not actually dead, but, I do wonder... I mean, yeah, no, like, there's no way he's dead, because the only way he could theoretically have been even, like, severely hurt is if he was either right at the explosion, which I don't think he was, or even if he was at the explosion site, got torn apart, then the train fell into the water, and then he was pinned under the water and was drowning. And I guess theoretically that could kill him. But if they couldn't find his body, then he's not drowning, and then he's fine. I wonder, you know what? I just kind of thought about that. If a homunculus is drowning, and wouldn't they constantly need to heal? Or do homunculuses not need to breathe? Important lore question. Do homunculuses need to breathe? Have we seen a homunculus get choked yet? Because later in this session, Selim is getting beat up by Lion Dude. And there's a part where he's choking Selim, and Selim isn't, like, gasping for air. So, or he may not be choking him, but he is, like, holding him down by the neck, if I recall. So, I wonder if a homunculus is put underwater and their lungs fill with with water, would they drown? And in the process, would their body then begin to heal itself, maybe by, like, pushing all of the water out of the lungs? And then if that happens, would it take some charge away from the Philosopher's Stone? And could you theoretically kill a homunculus by just chaining it up underwater? Huh. Because clearly fire does a pretty good job with homunculuses. Fire and explosives. Those do pretty good. But in terms of water, yeah, I can't remember a scene where a homunculus gasps for air. Maybe Father did? No. I mean, Hohenheim did, but it was after the big, like, transformation scene with crappy little Pride, or Father, I guess. But, like, I think when Hohenheim first woke up, he was like, but I think that was more so just kind of out of instinct, and not so much something he really needed to do. Yeah, I don't know. Do homunculuses need air? Or do they just live on themselves? Huh. Because they have organs. Whatever. Anyways, that was a tangent. Anyways, yeah, the only way Bradley would possibly be killed here is if he was pinned under the water, and even then I'm not sure that would actually kill him. So, pretty easy to say Bradley's not dead, but it is cool that he's actually been gone ever since that episode happened. It is cool that, like, he didn't just immediately show back up, like, nah, I'm fine. Like, no, he actually clearly was tricked and kind of got a bit played. He got kind of owned there. Like, he lost. That's kind of cool. And yeah, he's off on his little thing now. I imagine he's going back to the camp, but he has to walk it, and I imagine that sucks. Or maybe he's planning on jumping him? Who knows? But it's clear that Bradley's not quite gone yet. Alphonse gets kidnapped. That sucked for him. And yeah, I believe that's all that really happened in this episode. Of course, there was the father revealing himself thing, which kind of surprised me, because I knew everyone knew about Bradley being a homunculus, so I assumed they knew about Father. But, I don't know, I guess I didn't think they knew, like, I didn't think they had met Father. I thought they just kind of knew something was going on, so they were like, it's fine, whatever, yeah, he's a homunculus, I didn't think, like, they would see him and be like, oh, Father, great to see you. Like, I just don't see him as the type to have charisma. He doesn't strike me as a very charismatic guy, even though we have seen him be kind of charming when Edward and Alphonse showed up and he was kind of being cool with them. But I don't know, he seems like a real buzzkill. But, anyways, that happened. Although I guess he is charismatic, because we saw him in the little jar, and we saw that he was charismatic to the point that he was able to convince all of Xerxes into kind of trusting him to go through with this thing, and it went pretty poorly. So yeah, interesting little episode there. Not like some huge stuff happened, but a lot of small good stuff, and I did mention it in the episode, but I will repeat it here. The fact that Edward goes to Winry's house and, like, to eat and to feel kind of safe, he goes to her room. Really sweet of him. Like, could be taken as kind of creepy, but it's not. It's really sweet, and you can just feel like, yeah, he must have felt very alone in that time away from the others, and yeah. And I also love Edward's little group he has, and we'll talk about that more in the next episode. With that said, next episode 47, yeah. So I have looked into it. In the actual episode, I do ask, is there a figure of this version of Alphonse? And my heart is broken to say from what I have seen and heard, no, there is no figure of this version of Alphonse. And to be quite frank, I am heartbroken. This looks so cool, dude. Why is it so cool? Episode 47, Emissary of Darkness is the title. Hohenheim tells Edward's group about the Promised Day. Wait, hold on. We skipped over the best part where Edward punched his dad. That happened. Anyways, and in return, Edward tells him Trisha's dying words. Trisha? I feel like Trisha is how I would say it, but I think Hohenheim says it like Trisha or something. Anyways, Edward's group leaves, only to run into Alphonse, controlled by Pride. Pride attacks the group and appears to get the upper hand, but Edward blacks out the slums, removing the light source and denying Pride the use of shadows. Anyways, in total darkness, Heinkel uses his hunting abilities to find and attack Pride. Meanwhile, Gluttony appears and attacks Edward, Greed, and Darius. Greed, disadvantaged in the dark, agrees to switch places with Ling, who uses his detection abilities to fight Gluttony, as Gluttony transforms into the Devouring Gateway. That's its name? He is overwhelmed and shredded by the sudden intervention of Lane Fane, who is now equipped with an automail arm. And that's the end of the episode. Very, very straightforward episode here. But let's talk about it. So, first things first, Pride cannot use his powers in total darkness. Oh, fuck. That's why in the tunnels. Oh, okay. So I was always kind of confused. Like, why does he need light to attack the people in the tunnels? Why couldn't he just kill them in the shadow? Or in the darkness? And I didn't really get it. I thought the idea was he needed the light to find them, because he still can't see in the dark. So he couldn't kill them because it was too dark to see them, but he was there trying to find them, but he couldn't find them because they didn't have the light. But no, it's way better. It isn't that he can't see or anything. It's that he can't... He only moves in shadows, not darkness. But isn't darkness... No, darkness isn't a shadow. Darkness is just the absence of light. But, no, right. It was a cloudy night, right? I was about to say, but shouldn't the moon have casted some kind of light? But they established it was a cloudy night, the moon was making no freaking light. Kind of weird, though, that, like, there's no light coming from the sky to make at least vague shadows. But then again, they did say it was pitch black out, so... But wouldn't you be able to see the stars clearer? But I guess if it's too cloudy, it wouldn't really matter. But wouldn't there be breaks in the cloud on occasion? I don't know, I'm talking about the semantics, no one cares. That is a really cool kind of way to play with it, though. Because I really had thought that made no sense for a bit. I was like, how does putting you in darkness stop him from attacking you in the dark? But then I realized I'm stupid, and it isn't about darkness, it's about shadows. Not darkness as a whole, which is pretty darn neat. Oh, I just remembered something. Glad I remembered that. I'll talk about that in the next episode. Anyways, in total darkness, Heinkel uses his hunting abilities. Wait, why am I reading it again? Oh, right, I'm trying to see what happened next. Heinkel attacked Pride, right? Quick question, was it ever explained how Selim got there? I get that Pride was there because, you know, Pride can do stuff. Thank you. That gave me a fucking heart attack. Oh my god. That was my alarm. Excuse me. I had that set. Oh my god. I had an actual heart attack. Jesus Christ. Anyways. Right. Was it ever established how Salim got there? Because I almost got the impression with the whole he's possessing Alphonse, he's probably right behind the trees. I didn't really think about it in the moment, but does that make any sense? Because I got the impression Salim could see you anywhere and could do anything he wanted. Because I don't think he was at the train yard when Gluttony attacked Alphonse. So where, like, how did Salim get there? Can Salim teleport using his power to any shadow? Huh. I didn't really think about that, but, like, how would little boy Salim Bradley get to this random, like, forest outside of this weird hinky-dink town? Because I know they found them through Gluttony's smell, but how did Salim manage to get away from his mom and his family and travel here? My only guess is that he can, in the same way he seemingly swallowed up Alphonse and then took control of him, my only guess is that he swallowed his physical body up to move over there. But why would he move himself there? People in the comments, tell me this. Why did Salim go to the place to fight? Is there a reason for that? Or was it just he did it and shut up? Because if it's just shut up, that's fair. I'm just kind of thinking about that. Because, yeah, how... That is kind of strange. Yeah. I don't know about that. How, like, why would Salim's physical body be there? I get why Pride would be there. Pride is in the shadows and all that. But Salim's body, why... Like, I don't even get why he would be there. Like, I can buy that he can just teleport. That's fine. However, his physical body, what would be the advantage of bringing it there? Because we've seen he can take down Alphonse. Yeah, I don't see the benefit unless he can only do that stuff when he's there. And he's just always been there, but he's been in the shadows. Like, was he there in the tunnel with Hohenheim? We didn't see him. He was there with Hawkeye. He was there with Hawkeye. He was there... Yeah, I think Hawkeye's the only time we've ever seen him there, except for this time. Every other time, it's just been Pride. It's just been the shadows and the eyes and all that. I don't think we've ever seen Salim himself there, but I guess we have seen him there before, which might lead you to believe he does have to be there to actually see it? I don't know, because why wouldn't he just hide in the shadows then? Or, like, in the actual... I don't know. I don't know why he would show himself and put himself at risk. I mean, he isn't at risk because he's, you know, a homunculus, but I just wonder why he would choose to be there for himself. Especially if he can see through the shadows, which I imagine he can. I don't know. Someone tell me in the comments, thanks. Anyways, then after that... Blah, blah, blah. Greed swaps with Ling, because Ling can detect, homunculuses. We established that in the past. I kind of forget exactly why or how. I think in the episode I was like, is that something to do with alchemy? I forget. But we have established he can read people's like chi or something, right? Yeah, and then in the episode they said, oh yeah, he can read chi. And I think that came into play earlier in the series, I think. But I digress. That all happened. Episode ended. Alphonse showed up. She's dope. She has a cool arm. I freaked out. I was like, oh my god, she has a cool arm. And I forgot that she already had a cool arm earlier. But I forget if her cool arm had the blade on it. I don't think it did. I think the blade was new. I digress. Great episode, still. I had quite a few questions there, but I digress. Moving on. Episode 48, and look, guys, like the screen's getting a bit brighter because Salim is being pushed into a corner in this episode. Guys, it's really symbolic, I swear to God. Anyways, episode 48, The Oath in the Tunnel. Why is it called that? Why is it called The Oath in the Tunnel? Why is it called The Oath in the Tunnel? Wait, why is it called The Oath in the Tunnel? I don't know. Episode 48, The Oath in the Tunnel. Ling and Lan Fan fight Gluttony, while Heinkel continues to fight Pride. Meanwhile, Mustang visits Madame Christmas, what a weird name, at her hostess bar. Oh, it's a hostess bar. I always kind of wondered what that was supposed to be. I was like, is this like a brothel? What is this place? It's a hostess bar. That makes sense. Informing her that Salim is the homunculus. Pride manages to overwhelm Heinkel. Wait, did we just skip? Oh no, okay. Pride manages to overwhelm Heinkel. Shocker. However, before Pride can finish him off, Edward intervenes and saves Heinkel using his automail, which is now reinforced with carbon. Spies from Central follow Mustang to the bar, then receive the news that Madame Christmas is his foster mother. The bar suddenly explodes, and Mustang escapes into the sewers with Madame Christmas, and they part ways. He then meets up with Hawkeye, Breda, and Fury and confirms his plan to take over Central. Pride takes over Alphonse's armor again and prepares to fight Edward, but there's a flash bomb into the air, overwhelming the shadows with light and breaking Pride's control. Wouldn't there still be some kind of shadows, though? I guess it breaks the bond between Alphonse's armor and his... Oh, right, that's why Alphonse was standing in that specific area, because it led his shadow into the shadows. I get that. Still don't get why Salim's body had to be there. I digress. It does break the shadows between Alphonse and Salim, or Pride. So that's why the flare works. I digress. While Gluttony stumbles into the fight between Edward and Pride. Upon discovering that Ling and Lan Fan can sense homunculi, Pride consumes Gluttony, both to replenish his life as well as gain a sense of smell that can detect Edward's group, and then Hohenheim, who is nearby. Back in Central, Mustang makes the first move in his plot by capturing Bradley's wife. I didn't realize that. Oh, I'm so stupid, dude. I was too freaked out. Okay, so yeah. I remember now that... Yeah, I'm so stupid. I didn't realize at the time that consuming Gluttony allowed Pride to get a sense of smell... To get Gluttony's sense of smell. I didn't realize that. And I know that there are multiple parts where he's like sniffing the air and he's saying, "You can't run, I can smell you." And I always thought that was kind of weird. I was like, wait, he can smell you? What? Where does that come from? But I just thought he was being like creepy, like, "I can smell you anywhere because I'm so powerful, blah, blah, blah." I didn't think about like, oh yeah, he ate Gluttony and Gluttony could smell them. So he got the power. And I'm sure he said that at some point in the next episode. But I'm sorry, I was busy losing my mind over how weird everything looked for like 10 seconds. Anyways. That's that. I don't get what the oath in the tunnel means. Oh, it's between Roy and Madam Christmas, because he promises to not die, right? The oath in the tunnel. I get it, everyone. I get it. I'm very, very, very smart. Big brain. Yeah, solid episode. A lot of combat and action and fighting, and Gluttony's dead. Let's go. So excited that he's dead again. My least favorite homunculus. Like, I don't have anything against Gluttony, but, you know, he's just kind of big fat guy. I could do without him. And he's dead for the second time. Very cool. It's great. I'm happy. I'm glad Gluttony came back just to get squashed really hard by everyone he fights. It's good stuff. Anyways, yeah, man. Good episodes. Some more Salim action. Some more of me messing with the screen. Maybe too much, but it was still fun. Yeah, great episode. Great episode. Not a ton to say here, except Madam Christmas is Roy's mom. That's cool. I don't know if I really gained anything from that, but cool. Cool that that was revealed. I think she showed up maybe 6 times before this, but, you know, it's cool. Neat. Very neat. I just thought Roy had connections, but, you know, it was his mom, or his foster mom, I guess. So, you know, that's cool. That's it. And yeah, just an overall good episode, but not a ton to say here. It was just solid, had a lot of action to it. Probably one of the more action-packed episodes we've seen. With that said, though, let's get to the good stuff. Episode 49, we got a beautiful little shot of Edward Elric here. Oh, what a wonderful boy. I was actually going to get a shot of Hohenheim here, but I figured this shot of Edward back in his red coat, it's too good to pass up. And of course, I did skip over it earlier, but one of the best parts of this entire, and I mean entire series, has been Edward with his coat, and he says, "I'm going to do it in style." I kind of freaked out a bit. I digress. Let's talk about episode 49. Episode 49, Filial Affection. I have no idea what that says. Edward, Greed, and L'Enfant have a difficult time fighting Pride following his assassination of Gluttony. You could call it that. Alphonse intentionally allows himself to be captured by Pride so that wow, we skipped over a whole lot of stuff there. So that Hohenheim can encase them in a mountain of soil devoid of light, preventing Pride from using his Shadow's powers. Shadow's powers? Okay. I mean, he has one power, but sure. Meanwhile, yeah, he has one power, right? Whatever. Meanwhile, Kimberly begins to move just as Scar's group is told about the bombing of Bradley's train. As the promised day begins, Greed goes to Central on his own, while both Edward and Scar's groups meet up to devise a plan. In Central, Mustang and his subordinates begin to attack soldiers while using Bradley's wife as a hostage. However, Brigadier General Clement, gives the order to kill everyone in the group except Mustang. I would imagine to pin it on Roy. To pin it on him, like, oh, he killed her. Sad. Anyways, yes, episode 49. Darn good episode. Let's quickly talk about the dopest thing that happened. I got a question. I'm glad I remembered this. So in the episode, I was like, yo, Hohenheim's really strong. Because he didn't even put his hands together. He didn't draw a circle. He didn't do anything. He just stood there, hands in his pockets, feet on the ground, and started using alchemy to summon these giant walls. And I was like, that's crazy. So crazy that I think it might break the rules of this universe. But as I was thinking about it, earlier in the series, Hohenheim walked across water without doing anything, if I recall correctly. He just took a step and then began to create a bridge. So here's my game theory, and it is just a theory, but here it is. Does Hohenheim have alchemy circles, whatever you call them, alchemy things, on the bottom of his shoes? Because we know that Roy has the alchemy thing on his glove, which allows him to control flame, or at least affect it. So we've seen Hohenheim, if I recall up to this point, only using alchemy. I don't think he's ever made a circle, a transmutation circle. Sorry, I think that's the name of it. I don't think we've ever seen him create a transmutation circle or even put his hands together. So does Hohenheim just... Wait, do the other homunculuses need to do a transmutation circle? I don't think they do, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, because Lust didn't do anything to increase her, like, weird finger knives. Greed doesn't do anything to do his. Huh. Well, never mind. I had this big theory that it was gonna be revealed that, like, Hohenheim has transmutation circles on his feet or something, but suddenly, no, I think he can just do that stuff, maybe. I guess he could, because I guess his whole body kind of acts as a transmutation circle. You know, because of all the Philosopher's Stones pumping through him. Yeah, I guess so. I guess he is just one big magic water balloon bursting with energy. Yeah, alright, fair enough. Damn, alright. I figured it out, everyone. Anyways, yeah, that happened. That was one of the coolest scenes in the entire series up to this point. Hohenheim just sitting there as the giant walls just encase Salim. It's pretty strong. And of course, I mean, how can I not mention our boy Hohenheim? I mean, the fact he went from, at the start of this series, typical bad anime father, number 63, turning into, shockingly, very good anime father. I still definitely think Hohenheim's not, like, a great dad, but you know what? The more time we're spending with him, the more I'm kind of figuring out Hohenheim isn't necessarily a bad person or just an irresponsible father. It's almost like Hohenheim was just ignorant, or what's the word I'm looking for? Aloof, almost? Because it's clear he, like, loved his wife. I can imagine he loved his children, even if he hasn't quite shown that too strongly yet. But the way he talks about his wife, it's pretty clear that he feels guilt about it, and that he really, honestly, genuinely thought he would be back. And that her death really came as a shock to him. Once again, still not a good dad, given he didn't really comfort Edward after seeing him after all of that time. Really could have tried something there. But I get it, in the sense of, what do you even say? It's clear Edward wants nothing to do with you. And I guess he didn't want to get Edward brought into it any more than it was. But still, you know, not a good father, I suppose, but Hohenheim's definitely... But even then, like, while he may not be a good father in the sense of he's not very responsible, all of his bad father quirks come from a sense of... They kind of come from just not being very... It isn't that he's bad, it's that he's not good. He's not a good dad, but he's not a bad dad. He's just not good. You know, like, he doesn't do anything actively, like, mean to his children, except for maybe that one scene with Ed, and even then, it was clear Ed was not keen to, like, talk to his father. But besides that one moment, he's not a bad dad. He's just not a good dad. But with all of that said, he has grown on me a lot, and seeing him, and I think one of the cherries on top of really making me care about him was when Edward punched him. And I was expecting it to honestly be a kind of serious thing, and for Hohenheim to be like, Edward, why would you do that? And he's like, 'cause of what you did, blah, blah, blah. And he'd be like, Edward, I know, I'm sorry. And it would be this, like, big scene. But no, Hohenheim's a bro. He knows that he kind of sucks. So he gets decked, and he's just like, oh, dude, come on, you could have warned me. Like, he knows that he had that coming, for sure. And I love it, and I love Edward's reaction to it. I'm a big fan of the, like, anime character who hates someone with a burning passion, and just wants to get that typical, like, good guy beats the bad guy revenge. And he tries to do it, and then the bad guy's, like, not stereotypical evil, and the anger that comes from that of, I just want to feel justified in hating you, and I can't anymore because I feel like I understand you, and that makes me sick. Even though I am becoming a better and wiser person because I can now understand you. That is proof that I am growing as a person. It doesn't matter. It makes me angry. And I love that Edward punches him. They have a small talk, and Edward just wants to hate him. And he's just like, he's stomping around the city, like eating food, being all pouty. And his friends are like, Edward, come on, dude. And he's like, shut up. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk about it. It's really, really good. Just a great episode, and a great episode for Hohenheim too. Just mwah, 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 mwah. Good stuff. This entire session was filled with banger episodes. But with that said, episode 50, and of course I have to end it with Olivier's mwah, perfection scene. Episode 50, Upheaval in Central. Mustang's small team are cornered by the Central soldiers. However, Mustang's old Ishval squadron arrive and saves them. Meanwhile, the Briggs Fortress soldiers, led by Buccaneer, join the battle. Wait, Mustang's old Ishval squadron arrive. Oh, I see. His old squadron back in Ishval. I was thinking, like, wait, what? His old Ishval squad? He doesn't have a squad of Ishvalans, but they mean like a squad from Ishval. Yeah, okay, got it. Anyways, led by Buccaneer, join the battle. As Mustang's team begins to run low on ammo, they are saved by Maria Ross. What a return! And Rebecca Catalina with a truckload of weapons and ammunition. Mustang calls to thank Ross's weapon supplier and is surprised to hear the crippled Havoc at the other end. Did you need to put crippled in there, Wikipedia? He's doing his best. At headquarters, Olivier tries tires of the bumbling Central military and stabs one general. Oh, and kills Lieutenant General Cardner. Very cool. During the chaos, Edward's group sneaks back into Central via the tunnels and into Central via the third laboratory. Edward, Scar, Darius, Jerzo, and Zapano go in one direction, while Hohenheim and Lafon go into the other. However, in frustration at the delay in stopping Mustang and ignoring the protests of a lab member who says they have not yet completed their trials, a member of the senior staff awakens the humanoid mannequin soldiers. Are they mannequins? Why are we calling them humanoid mannequin soldiers? They're obviously homunculuses, right? I digress. So, this didn't mention that Lanfan ran away, or like Hohenheim allowed her to go. Kind of strange they didn't mention that, but sure. Yeah, a great episode. I don't really have a ton to say about it because it was just building up to a lot of stuff, and we kind of just have to wait to see how that goes. But one thing I can absolutely mention is this great scene with Olivier just straight up shooting a dude. Good job, show. That guy sucked. I'm glad she killed him. That was cool. Good job. Good job. Yeah, because, like, I didn't buy for a second that she wouldn't straight up kill this guy. And then she straight up killed the guy. So, good job, show. Good job. Also, Roy, very bold plan of, we're gonna get a bunch of guns, and we're just gonna go to war with the military. Bold plan. I do wonder what Miles and the old man's plan was. Because they mentioned they wanted to do something with those soldiers, and we haven't seen what that is yet. I digress. I don't really have a ton to say about this episode. It was just good, but it was really just build up for the next episodes and those soldiers and what's gonna come of that. So until then, that's all I gotta say. Whew, and that was all of the episodes for this session. Oh, thank you all for watching. It was a very, very fun one, and I am very excited to see what comes next in Full Metal Alchemist, which I will hopefully be able to record very soon. But thank you all for watching. Very fun session, lots of strong episodes, and yeah, can't wait to see what comes next, because this show, man, goddamn. And we are approaching the end. There's only maybe 5 sessions left, if even that. Let me actually check, because I do have it written down. How many are left? Let's see. How many sessions are left? We ended on episode 50. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sessions left, and of course there's some more. There's a movie. I think there might be an OVA. On top of that, there's all kinds of stuff. But for now, let's end it, boys. Oh, boy. Let's end it. Let's stop. Oh, man. So much left to go, yet so little. It's weird to think in 4 more sessions, it's over. I will probably have an extra session after that, just kind of touching on some other stuff I would like to talk about, but that's for after the show being done, pretty much, so we'll save that for then. And of course there's the movie, which I think takes place sometime in this series. I'm pretty sure it's before this point, though. I don't think it's afterwards. That would be kind of wild. But yeah, and then, I mean, we still have to think about when we're going to watch the original 2003 series. I still want to watch that. I'm very curious what they do in that. But I guess that's for a different day, a different discussion. So thank you all for watching. Wonderful, wonderful time. And yeah, let's end it here because I have to put this up before it gets too late. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much, and goodbye.